on silent.
2 phones.
Well, that one's Fresh Bins LA.
Got you.
So,
We're good? Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the No Script podcast. That's the first time I've messed up the intro. I haven't seen you guys in a few weeks, but we're back, and we have a very special guest I'd love to introduce today. A good friend of mine, the owner of famous chicken restaurant Cluckin' Chicken that is now expanding to Miami, Florida, all over Florida, right?
Yes.
And Fresh Bins LA, please welcome my good friend Vic.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kia. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah. So,
I mean
it's always a pleasure being with you. You know, like whatever you're doing, we appreciate, we like, we love. So keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Vic and I got connected. I filmed at his chicken restaurant, the Cluckin' Chicken. We did some collaborations there, and just been a good friend to me. Just showed me a lot. You might not even know, but the way you work, the way you operate, the way you and your friends are, it just seems like a family. It seems like you guys are all after one goal of becoming successful. So it's just been something that's been really inspirational to me. That's why it's great to have you here to talk about your story.
You. Yeah, I appreciate you. I mean, we try to make it a nice circle. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody wants the best for everybody. It's not all about making money, you know. Yeah, we need money. It's fun having money. It's good spending money. But you want to have a good circle. If you have a good circle, I mean, there's no reason for you not to be successful.
Right. And I've noticed with you guys, and I don't know if this is a Middle Eastern thing. I don't know if it's a family thing. It's always we with you guys, whether ownership doesn't really seem to matter when it comes to what you guys have. It's we this, we that, which I really find
We look at our staff as family because without them, I mean, we can't really go forward. You know, it's like it's not a one-man operation. Regardless if it's Cluckin' Chicken, Fresh Bins LA, or any other kind of businesses, you know, you need people, you need help, you need a team, and it all comes down if you have the good team. If you have a good team, you're good.
How do you go about finding a good team?
You just got to go through people. You just got to go through people. It's not easy. It's not easy because some people come work at the restaurant. It's not their cup of tea. They're kind of just making ends meet, getting by until they find their thing. So we're kind of always changing people. Yeah, we have the people that have been with us from day one. You know, they're very successful in our company. And the families who've jumped into our company and opened up Cluckin' Chickens all around Los Angeles. I mean, they're all great families, good people, you know, come from a great background. And so it's going well. It's going well. Yeah. Day by day, we're growing. We're trying to expand to other states. We have several locations coming up. I'm just not allowed to say it.
Sorry if I already butchered it.
No. Not at all. But out here in Los Angeles, there's several opening up that we're going to hold it off until we announce it. But we have a lot of confidence. The success story behind Cluckin' Chicken, I would believe, is having the right partner, which I do, and just doing what you love. I mean, food business is not easy. It's a very hard business. It's not that easy for you to like that business, but we try to make it fun. So every business, you can make it fun. Like you always make things fun, and I see that, and it just makes you going and going and going. You have, you have the drive. You love to get challenged, and you don't like to step on people's toes, which that's the main key to success. Have a great reputation in business, in whatever you do. Once you do, the rest. Sell yourself before you sell anything.
I mean, the whole thing with me is like I prefer to build connection, relationship with people I'm working with, as opposed to, I think the traditional route of how influencing has been for a long time now is a lot of using people here and there, and you'll use this person, you'll use that person. But I'm like, I grew up and from seeing what my parents do, seeing what their friends are doing, it's all about who you know, and like just having a good relationship with people. I think that's what it comes down to as a 100%. Person, as much as it does for your business, you know, like genuinely feels good to me to be able to have a good friend as opposed to something that I could just see beneficial for my business, if that makes sense.
100%. I mean, I came here today as coming to my friend's house. I look at you as a friend, as a younger brother who's an entrepreneur, who does everything. And I mean, it entertains people. So continue what you're doing. I really love what you're doing, and I support you 100%. And your YouTube channels are awesome. I have a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old at home who, once they're at a certain age, I would love them to watch your YouTube channel. I'll feel comfortable because whoever you are on YouTube, that's who you are personally. And you have that honesty, the loyalty, and the discipline from your family. The main reason for my success is my parents, the discipline that I've gotten growing up as a kid. And that just helped me out in life, socializing with people, respecting my elderlies, do not get involved in elderly conversations, all that old school discipline I've gotten that helped me out in my success, in my future. Regardless, when I say success, I'm not this millionaire who, I'm not. But when I say success, I mean success in family. I have a great wife, great kids, great family. So that's a big success for me. I can go home to a home I want to be in. My kids come up to me, however much you're tired, once your kids come up to the door and like greet you, like that's just nothing can beat that.
Now, is that something you knew? Like you knew
No.
when I get no. Really?
Before, no. No, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get married and get trapped. That's what it was to me, but it's nothing like that. Your eyes open up to a new world, and then you understand how valuable family is.
Right.
Work. Yeah, we work a lot. We don't have too much time to spend with our family, but at least later down the line, we have something to leave behind. Right. Something normal, something decent. They don't need to follow the tradition and continue the business. Let them go get an education and do their own thing, but it's available if they're interested.
Let's talk about your story early on, because I think that's going to open up a lot of eyes for people as well, to be like, well, how did he grow up? Why did he come to this realization with family? How has the process like transitioned his mindset with everything? Where did you start? When you were, talk to me about stuff.
I dropped out of high school, probably in 10th grade. Yeah. So school wasn't my thing. My mom had a clothing store, and next door to the clothing store next door meaning like 4 stores down, there was a pizza place called Amici's Pizza. Shout out to Amici's. I always respect them and support them because that's where I started from. I would ditch school and go to work because I told the owner, shout out to Steve, Afghani guy. I went to him. I'm like, listen, man, can I start working? He's like, you're 14, I'll get in trouble. I'm like, I'm your nephew and I'm just here for the summer helping you out. He's like, oh, okay. So I was there working. So I would ditch school. He didn't know I used to ditch school to come to work. And my mom is like 3 stores down.
Wow.
So I worked there for about 2 months, and then we get a call saying your son has about 50 absence. So the first place they send me is drug test, So finally they find out I work at the pizza place and whatever. I told them school's not my thing. So my parents thought we'd rather have our kid in front of our face than do school and go to places we don't know where he's going. So I continued working at Amici's, and then after I was 18, I landed a job at Gallup and Ford. Was selling cars. I loved it because networking, socializing with people, that's one of my favorite things. So working there for a year, they try to promote me to like a team manager where you're like a closer. You'll close for each one of the salesmen, go to the customer and just finalize the sale. So when they wanted to promote me, I'm like, if they promote me, I'm just going to get buried here.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to stay. So I quit.
How old were you at this time?
19.
And where were your parents in terms of support at this point?
They were not supporting the fact that I quit Gallup and Ford.
Were they supportive, or was it just kind of before the fact of you getting out of high school? Was it like, we really don't see a choice? I think this is your only option is to not go back.
My parents, they did everything for my education. I was in private school, plus we had a tutor come home. So they just spent all kinds of money on my education. It just didn't happen. I told them one day, don't waste your money. It's not me.
At 14?
Yeah.
Wow.
When, I mean, Tudor used to come home, I would like act like I was sleeping.
Wow.
You know, like I just wanted to avoid. I can't sit down. So talking about Gallup and Ford, when I quit, I wanted to open up my auto leasing. I opened up my auto leasing. I was selling cars, but I can't do any kind of work that has to do with sitting down. I got to be moving around. So that's why I was selling cars. I was doing great, but I didn't like where I was. I didn't like to go to work in the morning and take a seat for 8 hours. I couldn't do that. So
Did you have investors at this point, or were you just self-funding everything?
no, I was self-funding with very little money, you know, like here and there. Amici's, back to Amici's, how the food business came in my life was I would go eat there. So the owner at that Amici's told me, listen, I want to sell my Burbank store. Would you be interested? I said, let's go take a look at it, you know, just for the heck of it. So we went, we looked at it, you know. I got the price I wanted to get it for, but I couldn't afford it because it was up there. Called a friend up, great friend, still friends. We see each other almost every day. Told him, hey, bud, like trying to, you know, buy the pizza place. Would you be interested? So we go, we look at it. He likes it. He's like, all right, I'll bring the money. And I don't have the money. Went to my parents again. You know, God bless my parents with health. And they were able to get me the money basically. And I was able to buy the pizza place within 6, 7 months, 8 months, paid them back. And Amici's was booming at Burbank. I was all day passing out flyers, going to the hotels, telling the lobby people, taking pizza with me, you know, taking it to the police station, the fire department, just marketing, you know, footwork, a lot of footwork.
Now, was this before the rise of social media?
Yes, yes. So I would go pass out flyers. In fact, one day I go to Warner Brothers. They didn't let me in because I wanted to pass out my flyers. So I jumped the gate. Like 15 minutes later, I see a chopper, but I don't even think it's for me. You know, I'm just like putting my menus on like random doors at Warner Brothers.
Wow.
You know, and I see like a bunch of security guards walking at me. Pulled out their guns, don't move, you know, we're going to arrest you, you're trespassing, you know, this, that. So I just approached them. I said, I'm very sorry. I know I trespassed. I'm just trying to earn a honest living. He's like, well, this is not honest if you're jumping the gate. I'm like, I'm very sorry. I'm not harming anybody. I just wanted to get my menus in there. He's like, well, you could have came to the front office. I'm like, well, I did. You guys didn't let me. Whatever. Long story short, I mean, they looked at me. At the time, I looked really young. I didn't look like a guy that owned my own restaurant. And I didn't even tell them I owned my own restaurant. So they look at me as a kid and say, let's just shoo him out. You know, that's what they did. They're like, this kid's probably passing out flyers for somebody. Let's just shoo him out.
Right.
So they just shooed me out. And thank God, you know, I didn't get arrested for trespassing.
You probably would have if they knew you owned the restaurant.
Yeah. So I was like, I kept it like I'm a kid passing out flyers.
Right.
You know, so that was good. Sold that store for a pretty high price. Because
what year?
My partner, the food business was not for him. He didn't like it. So I couldn't grow with him because he didn't like it. So finally we sold it for a high ticket. And I moved on. He moved on with his businesses and stuff like that. So I started buying pizza places, you know, and selling them, buying them.
Oh, really?
Fixing
you
them
started flipping
up.
Pizza places?
Yes, I was flipping pizza places. Had one in Woodland Hills, Santa Clarita, Sherman Oaks.
Were you cooking too? Like, you know how to do pizza?
Yes. Yeah, I know the whole pizza game.
My dad's like really big into pizzas now. Ever since he started working from home, oh man, he's been studying, buying everything, just nonstop, making pizzas, putting them in the freezer, making pizzas.
Any questions he has,
trying to upgrade.
That's where Italian food was where I started. And I mean, I was doing catering orders, spending the night at the restaurant because I had to wake up 4 a.m., make dough, get it ready in the morning so we can deliver about 250 pizzas 3 times a week to Warner Brothers.
Oh, so you got a Warner Brothers?
Yeah, because then I went on the Burbank Times and all, and it was,
You have it, right?
It was like a joke. Yeah. Yeah. So we were on the Burbank Times grand opening.
Can we see it?
Yeah. So
He brought it. Let me see if I can. Mind if I?
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good on the wide shot.
On the wide.
Yeah, yeah.
That looks good too, huh? Okay, so you're here somewhere, right?
Yeah, in the middle.
You can
In
go
the
ahead and
middle with
point.
my partner Gary. That's me and that's him. And it's the mayor of Burbank and the president of Amici franchise.
Wow, so the rebirth of Amici Pizza Kitchen. Wow, dude.
Yeah. So the store was there for about 30 years. And the owners were like old school kind of. So there was no hype to the place. So when we bought the place, we put in some hype music, you know, brought in the younger crowd. And so that's where it started. And then the hot Cheetos, the person who bought it after us, he became very successful too. He brought in the hot Cheetos pizza.
Oh, it's a thing?
Yeah.
What is that?
So just hot Cheetos on the pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard they're doing hot Cheetos with a lot of things now.
Yeah.
Pokey's doing it too.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of things. But he was one of the first, which he was a young guy, our age, you know. I mean, I have to respect the people who are operating a restaurant who are young because it's so hard, you know. When competition came out, the Nashville hot chicken was really hot at the time, and I was operating a pizza place in Sherman Oaks. We were serving Detroit style pizzas. So one of my brother-in-laws, he got laid off from the bank and he was doing DoorDash. Will, my partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Wilson was doing DoorDash and stuff like that. And I would do DoorDash sometimes too to pass out our menus and, you know, this, that. So he came to me, he's like, hey, man, you know, like I've noticed I picked up from the same restaurant, but it was 3 different restaurant names. Like I went to that restaurant 3 times and picked it up under a different name. So they're doing ribs with a different name and they have a DoorDash for ribs. They're doing burgers. And so he's like, you know, like we should think of something and add it, you know, on the side of your restaurant. So at the time it was the Nashville style fried chicken, you know, and so that's what we automatically went to because it was so hot and new. So
Did you start selling this out of the
yeah, out of
place?
Padrino's Pizza.
Wow.
Yeah, we started Cluckin' Chicken out of Padrino's. We had a banner next to the pizza place that said the Cluckin' Chicken. So it blew up. And at the time, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you have a competition named Dave's Hot Chicken. Well, Dave's Hot Chicken is not a competition to me. Dave's Hot Chicken was more of an inspiration to me. You know, like, I mean, these guys started from the street. And, I mean, now you have Drake investing in them. And it's not luck. It's hard work, you know. And shout out to Dave's Hot Chicken, you know. I mean, they help us start.
Yeah.
We watched them. They inspired us. Plus, I was in the business. It was a lot easier for me to get it going.
Right.
So I just needed an inspiration.
And how did you, something that I've always been curious about, how do you come about, like, because you have your quesadilla, obviously, that no one else is doing, which I think is the best thing you guys have.
Yeah.
How do you come about, like, trying new things? Let's say, like, the sauce, for example. How do you come about, like, okay, let's make this the Cluckin' sauce? Are you sitting there in the kitchen just mixing every other?
So Will and I, we were, like, just throwing stuff in, mayo and ketchup, and, like, random other, like, ranch and Thousand Island, and we were using every dressing in the freaking book and just throwing things in there and just tasting it, throwing things in there and tasting it. Finally, we came up with the final recipe. It was a little bit of the pizza sauce that I used to have.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Will is very good in the kitchen too. Like, he's never been in the restaurant business, but you can go to his house, he'll make the best barbecue in the world, you know, and so he had that in him too. So it was both of us just putting love in there.
Yeah.
And then it was born.
How long before you came, like, was it quick, like 3 times and you were?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. We did it so fast because it's like he came to me, we made that decision, we came up with the name. He actually came up with the name. Will's the one who came up with the name, and the cousin did the logo.
Nice.
You
That was
know,
great.
it was done like overnight. You you know, and we got that banner going. So it was so fast, so quick.
So here's a question I have, which might be kind of interesting for viewers. When I come up with a video, for example, I know what the video's gonna, like what's in the video, what it's gonna look like, how quick it's gonna be, how it's gonna feel. I know what the final product is before I really even start it, right? I guess my question to you is, like, being in the food space for so long before that, did you kind of just know, like, not only in terms of like, okay, we can make the sauce because I know what all these would taste like together, but in terms of like business as a overall, were you like, okay, we kind of know like this is going to get to this point, this is going to operate in this way, or you just went in blindly pretty much?
It's probably the most failing businesses in America is fast food. So you could never know that. Like, people are coming up with new kind of stuff every single day, but you only see the ones that blow up.
Right.
You know, so maybe I don't look at success as luck. Luck is more like you go to a slot machine, hit the button. And
I'm skilled at that too.
You know, you catch that. Right. For example, but it's a lot of hard work.
Right.
I mean, you might get lucky and get bought out by a good company, but you're still not lucky. You put in a lot of hard work for your business to be worth what it's worth.
Absolutely.
So there's no luck in business. It's just constant hard work. You got to always be on your toes. There's always competition coming behind you. And you just got to make it happy place. You know, you don't have to be mad. You don't have to be angry. Great customer service. Reputation is number one. You have to have a great reputation with your vendors who send you all the product, you know, because people talk. So if you serve bad food, if you serve good food to somebody, he's going to go tell a friend. If you serve bad food, he's going to go tell 10 friends. So it's all word of mouth.
At what point in your business did social media become a big thing? Not only in your business, but in the food industry as a whole? Was it before the start of the Cluckin'? Before Amici?
Like right before Cluckin'. It was right before Cluckin'. Like, social media, we were noticing it's becoming a big thing. And back then, when I was in the pizza business, we didn't have these ordering platforms. And then Eat24 came along. You know, it was called Eat24 at the time. They merged with Grubhub. So we didn't have those platforms. It was more like people call, like the old school way. They order pizza, we deliver it to them. You know, but now all these platforms came in. There's a lot of ghost kitchens. There's a lot of competition also. So it's very hard, and it's a 7 days a week, you know, food. And you're long hours, late hours, you're on your feet. Summertime, you're constantly on the grill. So it's hard business, but first 2 years is always hard if you put in 100%. And then you can make it where it becomes a lot easier.
Do you prefer it the way it is now as opposed to what it was?
It's more established now. It's a lot easier. Again, thanks to Will, he's able to control that business, and my wife's involved now. So I'm pushing more of this business on the side, Fresh Bins.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. That's so interesting to me.
So, but we're growing, you know, we're all on the same page. We have a good team. Like I said, franchisees, great families, very hardworking. So, I mean, that's where we get lucky.
Right.
You know, like having good people on our team.
Right. Now, let's say, because there's two different sides of social media. The one where it's like food delivery apps. But then there's the other side where like guys like, I don't know, Keith Lee, if you're familiar with him, guys that go around trying different foods that give their own reviews.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, even Barstool with like pizza, right? I think a question I have is like, is that something that the food industry likes to have part of it? Or is there like a risk at having someone with such a high profile coming in there and one comment could really just ruin a business, you know?
They say bad publicity is good publicity. So anything you can get publicity on, you're good, but try to focus on good publicity. But these people, I mean, you know, Kia, the thing about that is, I mean, that guy wants to do something too. So if he's going to come buy your food and, you know, rate it or whatever, that's his job. If he rates it bad, then he doesn't like it. But I mean, there's people who don't like my food, and then there's people who only eat my chicken. You get me? So different people.
Right.
So the YouTubers who do that, go try people's foods and stuff like that. It's cool. It's good publicity. It's more better than bad.
Than not having it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, we like them.
Yeah.
We like them to come. And younger, we like to support the young. You know, I rather have somebody doing the working, a young guy, than doing something else, involved in drugs and all that other bad
Does
stuff.
that have to do with where you started? You could kind of see that. and
Yeah,
feel that?
well, I mean, I'm a cigarette smoker now, and I mean, my dad was the type, like, if I ever see a cigarette between your fingers, I'm cutting your fingers. You know, so it was at that, but it happened.
Right.
You know, so it doesn't matter how strict your parents are. I'm raising 2 kids. I'm using some of my dad's discipline.
Where are you at with education for your kids?
I mean, as far as they can go. As far as they can go. Because, I mean, education doesn't necessarily mean they got to go to college for 30 years or 10 years or 5 years or whatever the case is. But I want to have educated kids where at least they can educate themselves too. You know, that's what's important. And I want kids to be educated in life, you know, know how to mingle with people. That's very important.
Right.
You know, regardless, in your personal life, in your business, socializing with people is number one. You know, you have to be social. You have to network with people, and that helps you in business.
Right.
Like I said, you got to sell yourself first. If they like you and you start a podcast, they're going to come on your podcast. If you start selling candies, they're going to come and buy a candy from you because they like you.
Right.
So that's the main key of business.
Absolutely.
And just be disciplined in business, on time, you know. I mean, when I started business, I was young, and I would go out and come home late and have a hard time waking up to go to work. But everything teaches you a lesson.
Right.
You lose out on a catering order that's $700 because you were 15 minutes late, and you won't be late anymore. So you'll take a loss, but you'll learn.
What would you do differently, strictly before we move on to the fresh bins, what would you do differently in food, in the food business, if you could go back now and start over?
Nothing. You know why? Because every year that I was in a different restaurant business, it taught me a lesson. You know, one of my restaurants, I was with my uncle. Old fashioned, doesn't want to grow. Let's just make this good.
Yeah.
And you're 15 minutes late. He throws a comment in there. Oh, you guys want to expand. You're 15 minutes late. How are you going to expand? So I love doing business with him, my uncle, because I learned a lot from him too. In business, you can't be late, you know. Can you add another pepper? He used to stand like and tell me like, can you add 2 more pepperonis on the pizza while I was making the pizza? Okay, so I mean, it was like having a dad at work.
Just over your shoulder, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was cool. But his son, me, were like, we can't move. We can't open up the 2nd location, 3rd location. And I kind of wanted to grow in the food industry. So that's where I was like, all right, I'm going to go on my own, you know, try to grow. And I mean, with all my partners, I had about 4 or 5 business partners. One is my uncle. God bless him. I talk to him on a daily basis, if not daily basis, every other day. All my partners I'm friends with until today. I can call each and every one of them. And I got lucky. That's another, like, you get really lucky if you have the right person next to you as a partner, as a business partner. And that's where I got lucky with all my partners. You know, they were all great people, where they're all family now to me.
Right.
So, yeah, I wouldn't change anything because everything taught me a lesson. Like all the hardship, sleeping at work to wake up in the morning. So those are all, they were all lessons, you know? And I grew up being in the business. It helped me mature faster. You know, I was still 19 years old, just running around.
Right.
So, but yeah, hard work helps you mature.
Nice. Cool. Let's move on. I want to talk about Fresh Bins because that's such an interesting thing to me. You
Yeah.
just started a company that cleans trash bins.
Yes, yes. So it's a company that basically on trash day, after they pick up your trash, we come with our truck, we lift your bins, stick it in our truck, we wash it and bring it down. It's hot water, 220 degrees of hot water, sanitizes it, the whole bin, pressure washes it, and it looks like brand new. And I had the idea, I was doing my homework on it for a year. And then the reason why I decided to pull the trigger is because I went to a party and I told all the guys there, and they all told me, oh, that's a stupid idea. Like my dad like cleans ours with the hose and blah, 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 blah. So when they all said it's a stupid idea, I'm like, I'm just going to go do it, you know? Because,
And you went straight into it.
Yeah. Next day I called and ordered the truck. It took 2 months to build it.
Yeah.
You know, the logos on it. By the time the truck arrived, I had the website up. Because being in business for so many years, it was a lot easier for me to do Fresh Bins. By the time the truck arrived, I had my bank account ready, my corporation, you know, all the business cards, website, you know, like everything was ready. So once the truck arrived, I was like on my way to work, you know, passing out flyers. So, I mean, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do a service business and cleaning. And cleaning is a multi-billion dollar industry every year. And for me, it's the challenge. I like the challenge. I like running around, making it happen.
Are you the one actually going?
Yes,
Yeah.
I pass out the flyers. I go and service the homes. I want to go for the first year. It's so new to me. You know, when I'm servicing a home, the neighbor comes out from across the street, approaches me, talks to me, takes a picture, takes a video of the whole process. And when I'm there, I'm able to talk to the customer into signing up because the price is very reasonable every month to get it serviced. And it's so new to people. When I go, I'm able to educate them too on it. You know, I mean, yeah, you can send a driver, but imagine if a customer comes from across the street, driver's just going to hand them a business card, you
Right.
know. But I'm there, I educate, you know, I show them how it happens and all that stuff. So I like it. I love it.
Up to this point, what are your target customers like? Are you going to like bigger mansions? And
I mean, yeah, we go to mansions. I mean, you're talking about each mansion having about 15 to 18 bins.
which is insane.
Yeah.
18 like are they all like 7 trash cans, 8 recycling bins?
Yeah. So you know how their landscaping is huge and it's always green? So you need like 10 green bins
that's
just
true.
for that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? And then big house, you have people living there. I mean, we do high profile celebrities. Thanks to my buddy, Art and Vic. They've been in the pressure washing business for about 15 years. Shout out to Ultimate Pressure Washing. Very experienced. They do all of Beverly Hills homes, all celebrity homes. So we've been friends since we were 14, 15. Actually, when I was working at the pizza place, he used to pick me up from work because he was older than me. And for my mom not to find out that I'm working there, he used to pick me up from work. So we've been friends for a long time. Vic and Art, which they're cousins in the business, they referred me to a couple of high-profile celebrities. I'm just not allowed to disclose it, but thanks to them, because I mean, it was a big boost for my business.
That's
and
amazing.
I'm pushing it. I'm passing out door hangers, you know, just
I saw it. I just saw your social media on it and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you're really,
yeah.
it's really good. You got like a pretty good commercial going on
Yeah,
there. You got
yeah,
a lot of content
yeah.
coming out. The trash can, for those of you guys who don't know, is not the trash can, the trash truck. It's literal like trash truck. It's not like just a small like
Yeah,
truck.
yeah.
It's
I wanted to make the truck look like a toy truck. That's why I put the blue colors, the orange, the green colors. Well, the blue and the green come from my kids. It's my daughter's favorite color is green, and my son's favorite color is blue. So I kind of wanted to make the truck green and blue. made the hats green, made the shirts blue. So
Oh yeah, you have the whole merchandise going for it too.
Yeah, I had everything for it. So
Wow.
I started it off I'm like, if you're gonna start it, you start it off right. I won't recommend a young entrepreneur to start like that because I was lucky enough to have a business where I could kind of invest a little more and get a bigger truck and a nicer truck. But somebody young can just go buy a $700 machine, a pressure washer,
Go door to door and just
go door to door and do it. And I know that's what my buddy Vic did when he started the pressure washing business. He used to pressure wash for the city, working for the city. And then he went on his own. He was going door to door, like little porches and, here and there. And they've been in business for 15 years.
Do you have competition in this space?
Yeah, actually, I do have competition. It's funny that you said that because one of the competitions contacted me about 4 days ago.
Saying what?
Introduced himself, told me where he's located. I'm not going to give any names, but he told me, I'm interested in buying your truck. How much did you buy it for? So I gave him a price, how much I bought it for, and he told me, I'll pay you $35,000 more and I'll buy it off of your hands.
Oh, he's just trying to shut you down then.
So what I did, I knew that was the case, but I'm like, sure, can you give me 30 minutes? I'll call you back. So I called back the company that I ordered the truck. I'm like, do you have one ready? He's like, yeah, I actually just finished one. I just got to wrap it and send it. I'm like, all right, give me 30 minutes. I'll call you back. I called the guy back. I said, okay, I found a truck. It's available for me so I can let this one go. I'm thinking he's in the business and he has several trucks. And I'm thinking he just needs one ASAP because he got a big account. But that wasn't the case. I called him back. I said, there's a truck available so I can give this to you. He's like, oh, no, you're going to have to sign a paper, meaning you can't get back into the business.
Wow.
So I kind of look at that as I still don't want to say anything about the guy. I wouldn't do that. I would call my competitor and tell him, hey, listen, if I get any gigs on that side, I'll shoot it your way. If you get anything my way, can you just shoot it my way? So I go out passing out door hangers for Fresh Bins LA. And these companies, including me, when we wash the bins, we put our stickers on the bins that says these bins have been washed by Fresh Bins LA. So when I put my door hangers on the trash bins, every time I see a sticker of a different company, I won't put my door hanger because I'm not trying to take anybody's business away.
Right.
I'm just trying to earn my own business. If you continue, when I said reputation, that's when you drop your reputation. You're trying to take somebody's basically business away purposely. Like you're kind of rubbing it in his face. You know, you don't want to do that.
So are you saying you've cleaned trash cans that have previously been cleaned by other companies?
No, I won't advertise my flyers on a trash bin that's already being cleaned by a company.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Once I see a sticker on there, I won't put my door hanger on it.
Got you.
It's a new business. We're not too many of us. We're about 6 of us out here. You know, I just don't want to have a bad name for myself. You know, I'm just trying to earn my own business.
And are you trying to expand as quickly as possible in terms of getting more and more trucks, or what's the goal?
Well, I have a couple of good deals that if they fall through, I'm going to have to get my truck. And yeah, I have a guy I'm talking to in Malibu. He wants to get a truck with my name on it and basically service all of Malibu.
Wow.
Because he works there. He's been working there for about 30 years. He knows everybody that lives in Malibu. So for him, it's a no-brainer. He can just make phone calls and get the deals going. So a couple of people have approached me to franchise, but I'm not ready yet. I don't even know the business. I'm still learning. I'm in training.
Yeah.
I go wash bins. You know, something breaks on the machine. I learn.
Right.
You know, it's so new to me.
It sounds like this specific business for you is like a mix of previously having had money to be able to start it and also having connections. What do you feel like is more important in this?
Connections. Connections. Because you can start it off with a pressure washer that's $500. You know, I mean, obviously you can't dump that water out. It has way too many bacteria. You can't dump it on the grass because if a dog is passing by, licks the grass, could die or get really sick. Obviously, nothing's going to happen with the green one. It's grass, you get me? But the trash one carries a lot of bacteria.
So what are you guys doing?
We keep it in the truck, the water, and then we dump it. There's a facility we take it to. It's not much. We pay and we just dump out the water. So, yeah, we keep the dirty water in.
So I guess there is a lot more than what people realize. People probably just think cleaning a trash can is just spraying some water on it, but no.
No. It's honestly, I thought it was just a selling point, some of the things, but now when I clean trash bins and the response I get from customers is like, oh, summertime, it stinks. But we have a lemon scent that we use for the trash bins. So it's constantly smelling like lemon until the next month. I mean, about 2.5 weeks, you'll smell it.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good. I mean, we have our website, people go subscribe and start service. It's as low as $17.
You could, what's the website?
It's freshbinsla.com.
Freshbinsla.com.
www.freshbinsla.com.
Yeah, we'll have that on there. We'll put it in the description too
Yeah.
if you guys want to get your trash cans clean. Let your parents know.
It's a great challenge. I mean, the business is a great challenge. I mean, and people are starting. It's starting up in LA. That business is getting pretty big.
Interesting.
I know 3 people that ordered the truck already, and they don't even know I know it.
Really?
Yeah, because they ordered from the same company. I have a good relationship with them.
Because you know them personally?
No, I know them through people, but the company, I know them personally who I order my trucks from. So I get the word like this city ordered the truck, from this area.
So you think this is the start of something that's going to be pretty prominent
Yeah.
in LA?
You know why it's not booming now? Because people they don't know about it.
Yeah.
It's not educated. Everybody knows fried chicken.
Right.
Now, I mean, Nashville or Southern or, but we all know fried chicken. I mean, I didn't know about trash bin cleaning. I didn't know that.
Right.
Growing up as a kid, I always saw my dad just hose it down.
Yeah. I mean, it's smart if you think about it. It's like the dirtiest thing in houses that hardly ever get cleaned.
Yeah. I mean, summertime is horrible. Summertime horrible. I mean, it's if you can do it, it's worth it. It's worth doing it. At least the black one for trash. But all my customers, when they sign up all. Because once you see one clean,
You don't want
it's
two
very
more- two
hard
of them
for you
dirty.
to open up the green and see a bunch of grass sticking in the bottom.
Even worse, like bugs and spiders and all that. Yeah.
So maggots, I mean, rodents. The spray we spray, it's not only lemon scent. It keeps rodents away. It keeps bugs away. It's also a sanitizer at the same time. So it has that alcohol scent where it keeps all that stuff away.
Nice. So I guess it's so new to you, so you probably haven't had like a bad customer experience. But I'm genuinely curious when it comes to people who own businesses, like what is the worst? If there's one customer from the time you've been in business as a person, what was it?
That was the main reason I got into this business is because of the headaches are so much less than the food business. It's like if a customer calls me, see, I don't go on their property unless they want me to bring in the trash cans, which that comes with the service. We come, we wash it, we bring it in. So I don't really deal with them too much. If they're gonna come home from work and open their bin and I missed a spot, like I'll take care of them next month. It's not a problem. So the complaints of customer headaches is very minimal when it comes to the food business or any kind of other business. You have customer calling wanting free food. Oh, my chicken was raw. Just to get free food, that's fine. We'll give free food out. I mean, if that's what you want. We really don't argue with people, especially customers. We like our customers. We thank them. Clucking customers have been supporting us for 6 years. My Fresh Bins customers have been supporting me for 2 months now, and good people, and I'm just pushing it as much as I can. Trying to make a lot of time with family, thanks to my wife. My wife takes care of the kids like never seen something like that. Like they eat on time, they shower on time, they sleep on time. So that department is covered. So I'm able to like push, you know, in business, try to get as much as I can because I don't want to be working all my life, you know, running around. I mean, you want to stop at a point and relax. You still want to work, but not as much. So I'm trying to push hard now.
I hear you. Maybe I haven't
You know,
gotten to
and
that point.
that's
Yet.
what
I'm
you're
just
doing.
pushing.
That's what you're doing. And I appreciate what you're doing. I respect that. You know why? Because you're an example to the guys your age. You're 25?
24. Just 24.
Just turned 24. You're a big example. You know, you could have been out right now at a bar, having a drink, but you're like, let's do a podcast.
I think that's the
let's go to
biggest
work.
thing too. I mean, even from the get go, like, I want my life I live and the life I put out to be the life I want to inspire these kids to have. Whether it's like whatever it might be. Like I promised myself I'm never gonna have alcohol. I've never had alcohol, never done drugs, and that's just something I'm like. Even if I were to do it, I just want kids to follow in my footsteps the way I live my life more than anything. I don't want them to follow my footsteps with what I put out because that could be a lie. You know, like I want the life I live to be true, and I want what people to see me in the way I move, and that's how I want them to be.
Well, that was the reason why I said that I would want my kids to watch your YouTube because of all that, because the values you have in you, and that's another thing coming back to your parents. That goes back to your parents. It's the discipline you've gotten from them. You know, so I'm not a drinker. You know, I don't do drugs. Never tried any kind of hardcore drugs. Never really got into it. My drug was probably going out, dating girls, you know. But I knew my boundaries. I knew my limits. You know, I had older friends, which I kind of got lucky. I had older friends who actually cared. So if they were doing drugs, they would make sure that I'm not in that room. So they were good friends. And I'm still friends with them. They're a lot older than me, maybe 7, 8 years older. I mean, I used to go out of town with them. And they never got me into it. I mean, they wouldn't even allow me to do it. So my dad was very strict. I mean, he just has the look, the mean look, the monster look. So that was another thing. And I mean, my mom helped me out a lot in business. I mean, every idea I had, she told me, go for it. Jump, 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 jump. My dad was the opposite. He was more like, if I had a fever, he'll sit next to me 24/7. But if it comes to like motivating me to go, like when I was buying Amichis, he's like, do you even know how to boil eggs? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, big-hearted. Like I said, if we had a fever, he'll like sleep next to us, make sure we're fine. So, I mean, my parents balanced out.
Yeah.
My dad was kind of scared of risks, and my mom was like, push. So I'm more the jump. I mean, what do you lose?
Right.
What's there to lose?
Yeah.
I mean, money. Okay. But yeah, Kia, push, man. I mean, people love you. People love you. People watch you. I mean, you're making people laugh.
Thank you.
And waking up in the morning and just deciding on how to make people laugh. I mean, a lot of people are stressing out. A lot of people have a lot of problems. You know, and when there's an entertainer who's making people laugh, you know, it's a good feeling. And it's not only what you're doing, it's the fact that who you are too. You know, I mean, there's not too many people you can see, like, I've never tried alcohol, I've never tried drugs, you know. It's very hard to come across people like that. So I respect that.
Yeah, thank you.
I thank you for you not doing drugs, because you're the next generation from our children as an example. You know, my generation was lazy too. But imagine how lazy my generation was. Imagine if we were not lazy and we had the same work ethics as our parents with technology.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, and you're not lazy, and I see that. And that's why you're going to make it. You're going to do great. That's why you're doing great. You have a great team around you, you know, so push it to the limit,
Thank you.
you know, so.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you looking at on time, Armand? 49. Cool. I mean, I think that's a great stopping point. If there's anything else you want to add on.
No, just clap for others until you make it. That's what I did, and I still do. Just clap for everybody.
I like that.
You know, everybody next to you, strangers, just clap. Wish the best for everybody. It's free to wish the best. You know, it's free to wish the bad. So might as well just wish the good if it's free. I mean, there's a lot of people, jealousy, hating, this, that, but I never understood that. You know, if my friend's doing better than me, then I'm happy to have that friend next to me. The only thing I could do is learn. Why do I want a pothead friend next to me?
Right.
Or an alcoholic friend next to me, or a drug addict friend, you know? I want to have a friend who's very successful, who's doing great, who's doing better than me. And that's what I did, and that's what I do. If I could help any youngsters, like, for example, one more thing that I wanted to bring up. My nieces from grandparents, they were in the herb business, like basil, tarragon, you know, like all the herbs. And it's a night business where their parents go to work at nights in downtown LA. It's a wholesale business. So they want to start their own herb line because they grow the herbs. My brother-in-law grows herbs, and they sell it downtown in the supermarkets and this, that. So the kids want to start like something with a subscription, you know, send every month herbs to people's homes, people that want to cook, fresh herbs grown like naturally. So, I mean, I'm pushing them to do that, you know, to keep themselves busy. Go to farmers markets, you know, tell their story to people, like how they went into the business, because their story is a nice story. I mean, their grandpa started from Greece. You know, it has a big history, and I'm actually going to bring them on your podcast.
Bring them on.
Everything's up and going.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for having me, Kia. I appreciate you. Whatever I can do to be helpful, you know, I'm ready. One call away. You can always reach me. You're always welcome at Cluckin' Chicken.
Thank you.
Don't eat too much fried chicken.
Oh, man, it's so good. You guys got to try it. Thank you so much for coming, man. Make sure you guys go check them out. Go to, what's your Instagram for Cluckin' Chicken?
Cluckin' Chicken.
Go to Cluckin'
The
Chicken.
Cluckin' Chicken.
The Cluckin' Chicken. Check out Fresh Bins LA. We'll have that linked in the description. Get your trash cans clean. And let's see what other businesses you open up in the next 10 years.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
coming,
you
man.
guys.
Appreciate it. You guys take care. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe
care,
button.
guys.
Become a member if you're not already a member. I'll see you guys on the next episode of the No Script Podcast. Peace.